Honorable Minister, the Chief Secretary, Sri Jana, my young colleagues, Principal Secretary, IT, Manoj, and the new Special Secretary, Manas, and of course, Mr. Verma, Anup Verma, from Economic Times, Digital, and of course, the distinguished guests. I see a lot of eminent personalities included in the list of speakers today. So all of you are most welcome to our city. First of all, let me thank and congratulate the ET Digital for doing this engagement here. This is going to be an excellent platform for very meaningful deliberations. And as transformation of anything, be it an organization, be it a state government, would be a continuous process. We would benefit from ideas from the industry so that our working improves. We are more congenial for the industry, and we continuously meet the standards expected from us as a leading state in the country. I also would like to thank the Honorable Minister and the Principal Secretary, IT, Manoj and his entire team for participating in this particular endeavor and turning out such beautiful function the whole day. I, in fact, feel very guilty in standing between you and the next speakers because they are so good that we are probably eating into their time. So I'll be very brief. Both the Principal Secretary and the Chief Secretary, who are practitioners of this particular task of transformation, have mentioned a lot of facts to you. And many of you who are part of the state government and are in Bhubaneswar, of course, are aware of the work, activities of the government. But many of you have come from outside. I would like to add that the word transformation today is a very default word in the state government. And the Honorable Chief Minister surprised all of us when he went to the 2019 Independence Day and mentioned within a year that the state government services should be all on digital mode. For any reason, if it is not on online mode, then it will be delivered through courier service. And if it cannot be done through courier service, the government departments would be making these services available to all of you through service centers in the villages. In fact, I was taken by surprise by this very, very bold and revolutionary announcement. And of course, we had to all work absolutely feverishly to do something about it. In fact, way down in 2015-16, I'm not too sure about, maybe about 18, the Honorable CM again announced that the departments will abolish affidavits. And then all the departments started listing what are the requirement of affidavits. Affidavits is a word I think is a national lingo, that you have to go to a notary or a gazetted officer to certify that I am, or this certificate actually belongs to me, and so on and so forth. So this was abolished to the extent possible in one go. So this particular announcement made it mandatory for each department to list their services which could be put on online and then start. What was the biggest challenge? I personally believe e-governance for a very long time became a fad. And we put a lot of data on the websites and expected the citizens to access services. And for the longest time, the e-governance service was mainly paying the electricity bills online and buying the bus tickets. Unless you do process re-engineering of a particular service, and put logic in the computer, how will you make an e-governance service actually online, a transaction online? You cannot. So whole lot of work has to happen to make a service really transactional. Otherwise, just a dissemination of information. So this is a very hard work. People who are outside the government would appreciate that something like you buy land from somebody and the records get transformed to you by a process called mutation. We call it mutation in the state government of Odisha, and you get a record of right, which used to take on a statutory basis 45 to 60 days, was actually taking few years. And a lot of corruption and all that. I'm sure everybody knows what used to happen. Had to happen within 7 days. So you had to rewrite the act. So for about 1,000 odd services, the secretaries, you can imagine their challenge. They had to rewrite the acts and the procedures and processes. And the biggest challenge was Manoj. He had to put these online services into a systematic IT application. I'm not saying that we have succeeded in giving all these services online, but many of you who are familiar with the state government working would agree with me that we have covered a lot of distance. Lot of distance. Because the challenges are many. The challenges are not intrinsic to government. The challenges are out there. If a citizen is digitally literate, he has the hardware, there is adequate digital connectivity, there is internet facility, he has got a smartphone, all the challenges. Then the application is in English. And all of you know that the majority of the so-called common man don't speak or write English. They understand the regional language. So the challenges are huge. If anybody says that we have succeeded in transforming Odisha in 2 years, I think you do not believe it. You have a smile on your face. But the biggest difference in our state government, which I, having worked in Government of India for a long time, can tell you, the priority of the top leadership is daily and there on your face. The Chief Secretary mentioned about 5T. That is something which every state government official knows, and in the state also there is a lot of resonance. One of them is technology. And the last one, the biggest one, is transformation. Every secretary comes to the CMO with the priorities for the year. And if he says that I'm going to transform 1,000 district, 1,000 high school, the Chief Minister's office makes it 10x. And then he goes back and he scratches his head for some time, but his team actually does 10x. So the leadership is, the Honorable CM is unrelenting. 10,000 high school, and I would throw an open challenge to you. Delhi government is speaking a lot about transforming their high school. The kind of transformation Odisha government has done in our high school, and Odisha being a state and Delhi is a city state with huge amount of money. I think if you compare apple to apple and orange to orange, our transformation is at least 2x. The hardware, the software, the training, and just one thing. I'm again saying that the challenges are huge. You cannot transform a state government work in which we have a lot of legacy issues. In a private sector, there are a lot of private sector friends, young friends are here from the IT industry. If they have somebody who does not do good quantity of work or good quality of work, you can ask them to go away, right? Here in the state government, if you are born in the state government, the person is there for a very long time. Though we are beginning to fix a lot of accountability. A government across the world have certain rigidity. Every organization which grows very complex has certain inertia, certain rigidity. We cannot be nimble, flexible, accountable. Accountability can't be like private sector. But as a state government, we have prioritized adoption of technology to use it as a tool to improve our efficiency in areas, I would say 3 major areas. One, citizen-centric services. We've identified anything that has to do with citizen. Who is a citizen? A citizen is a person who is a student, a industrialist, also a citizen, a farmer. And those services which need service from the state government as a public good, we have mapped them, and then we have improved the processes, and we are reasonably sure that we have improved those services online. Number two, and very important for all of you because you come from the investors community, we have listed services which goes for wealth creation. Like Go Swift is a entrepreneur's service, or I3MS. So those services which are targeted towards mine owners, transporters, logistic people, IT personnel, industrialists, Mukhya Mantri Krishi Yojana entrepreneurs, these services are better utilized because the other side is more ready. Third, and not to be underestimated, is improving the government's own functioning. Pradeep, our Chief Secretary, mentioned about OSWAs. I worked in Government of India between 2007 and 2015, and we worked on e-office, which was terrible. I don't know whether it's improved or not. When I came and I saw the OSWAs here, it was like dramatically different. And today OSWAs is so good that everybody is so comfortable. There is no paper on our table actually. So anybody who doesn't believe, please visit anyone's office and see whether there is paper on our office or not. In spite of the internet penetration being one of the lowest in the country because of certain telecom legacy decisions nationally, Odisha, like Northeast maybe, or Jharkhand, we are from the state government taking a lot of initiative, which I am sure Manoj will speak later or somebody will speak, that we have used our own PSUs and the state government departments to lay fiber now, and we will make every panchayat linked to fiber so that there is video connect. There is already video connectivity with all the blocks and many panchayats. There will be universal video connectivity, audio video connectivity. There are many, many challenges. So transformation, as I mentioned to you, is a commitment from the top leadership. That's the difference. And the other aspect of, the e-governance is to attract investors. Manoj has spoken about that. I don't want to stand between you and the end. This is a very short inaugural address. I would once again thank ET Digital, especially Mr. Verma and his colleague Mr. Gupta and everybody else for doing this in this city. Thank you so much.